Good evening, Papua New Guinea. I'm your host, Godwin Aki, and welcome to a very special episode of Coca-Cola Sports Scene. This weekend saw the 2014 Coca-Cola Morobe Golf Open kickoff, and throughout the show, we focus on all the action. Jeremy travelled to Lae to cover this prestigious event, and for the next 3 segments, we will show you all the highlights and what's happened during the events.
Welcome to the highlights package of the 2014 Coca-Cola Morobe Open. I'm Jeremy Mogi, coming to you from the Lae Golf Club, which is hosting this prestigious event. Now, the tournament is part of the Queensland Sunshine Tour, which is organized by PGA Australia, and 52 golfers are vying for the prize money of $114,000. Let's take a look. 52 golfers from 4 nationalities were all in contention after day 1. Defending PNG Open champion New Zealander Peter Ward had been among the favourites coming into the Open, but plagued by a virus throughout the entire tournament, struggled in the humid conditions.
It's been a challenge. Haven't exactly been that well. Got a bit of the flu, but it's been warm as usual. I think that the scoring should be a bit better from the next couple of days.
Brett Rankin from Queensland soon found himself competition frontrunner early on. I heard that it's a little bit tricky if they're putting against themselves. I wouldn't say it. The round 1 scores had Brett Rankin in a score of 65 with 6 under par, Matthew Ballard with a score of 66 and 5 under par, Heath Reed, Tom Bond, Michael Hansen were all on a score of 67 and equal with 4 under par. Edward Stedman, Peter Martin were also tied with a score of 68 and 3 under par, and Jake Sterling, Daniel Bringoff, and Sven Pembroke from New Zealand all rounded out the top 10. Now, we had an interview with Justin Maker, who has come on the show in previous times, and this is what he had to say about the tournament over the past 3 days so far.
Morobe Open. He's been knocking at the door for some time now. He's won numerous Pro-Am tournaments back home in Australia, yet to win a coveted 4-round tournament, and with a great round of 6 under par today, he'll be certainly one to watch come Sunday afternoon.
Other golfers who were outside the top 10 but only 7 strokes behind included Ryan Lynch, Lee Deegan and Jared Pendo.
New Zealand.
Okay.
Yeah. Long way from home.
There's no fish and chips over here?
No fish and chips? Nah, no fish and chips.
Well, how have you found the tournament so far?
Yeah, it's very, very enjoyable. All the people that are got stuff to do with the club are very, very helpful. Tournaments run really nice. Courses in great condition. When you see the surrounds and inside the fence, you see the course. It's amazing, really.
Just on the course itself, is there a difference between this course here and Lae to say back home?
No, like the par 5 is pretty challenging here. Most of the par 5s back home you can get home in 2 if you're hitting at a reasonable distance, but you've got to really crunch a couple of drives here. And
what has been your, let's say, secret weapon with you?
I've been hitting the ball pretty well. I haven't actually been holding many putts, so I'm sort of in contention at the moment. So if I can start holding some putts, who knows what can happen.
We'll go for a quick break. More to come after that, so stick around. Welcome back to the highlights of the 2014 Coca-Cola Morobe Open. Competition after Day 2 had seen slight changes in leadership, and it's back to Justin Maker, PGA Tournament Director, with his summary of Day 2 action.
Welcome to round 2 of the 2014 Coca-Cola Morobe Open, where we had a few slight changes to the leaderboard after today's second round. Our two-time previous winner of the Coca-Cola Morobe Open will be gunning for his third Morobe Open Championship over the weekend, firing consecutive rounds of 4 under par, 67 to be at 8 under par total, and taking a one-shot lead into the weekend. Brett Rankin has continued on his fine form over the opening round, however will sit one shot back of Reed with 2 rounds to play, alongside Michael Hansen, who is somewhat of a little unknown up here in Papua New Guinea. He has travelled up here to play both events previously, but never really got near the leaderboard or on top of the leaderboard in those 2 previous times up here in Papua New Guinea. So both Michael and Brett are one back, with a group of players including Ed Stedman and Peter Martin 4 shots off the pace of Reed. Reed will be, as I said earlier, gunning for his third Coca-Cola Morobe Open, and will be up to the challenge, I'm sure, over the weekend. He's got a tough field to beat. There are currently 18 players within 7 shots of the lead, and therefore any one of those 17 players could take out the title in 2 days' time.
And as mentioned, Heath Reed has already taken top spot, with Brett Rankin dropping to second place, and a number of competitors also staking their claim, with Michael Hansen equal second and 1 stroke off the lead. Peter Martin and Edward Stedman 4 shots off Reed, while the duo of Martin Dive and Lee Deegan are further stroke back. Now, concentration was a key issue, and Justin also made mention of that.
Concentration is very important, especially up here in the heat. A lot of the professionals wouldn't be used to playing in heat like this, and therefore, you know,
It tends to become a distraction at times.
It does. Certainly, just the mental state out there, trying to hold it together for 4.5 hours in the heat out there is very difficult.
Now, for those that don't know golf, what are some of the etiquette?
The etiquette, you know, all the professionals know, and I think it's great having events like this, because you've got the local Papua New Guineans playing alongside some of the up-and-coming professionals back home in Australia, so they're getting to actually learn a lot about etiquette and stuff that we do down in Australia. So it's a great learning curve for the Papua New Guinean people to come along and be part of a great event like this.
Thank you very much, Justin. Now, we're also very fortunate to have a little bit of a runaround with the golfers that are here today, and here's what they had to say about the course and their own performances.
How have I been going so far? I'm 3 over, and what's leading? 9 under. So this is the day when you've got to catch up, and I'm going the wrong way. So,
Well, considering that it's your birthday today, you're hoping that you'll have a good present by this afternoon?
yeah, I guess go out for dinner, have a couple of beers, try and celebrate, I suppose. Yeah.
Well, Jason, I wish you all the best in
Thanks
that.
very much.
And how have you found competing against Peter?
He's a nice guy. I haven't played with him before, but he's true professional and a nice bloke. So.
Thank you very much for your
You're
time.
welcome. Cheers, mate.
Following the individual golfers, there was clear distinction in their skill and techniques, each of them perfecting their style as the course presented its many challenges. Just getting his angles right, he's about 25 yards off. Goes for it. it's landed just on the green. Now, as mentioned earlier by one of the golfers, putting has been tricky. Bogeys have been becoming common as well. And to make up, long drives being a countermeasure to get under par. Being the technical game it is, choosing the right clubs is very, very important. And the distances between holes can also become physically draining.
We'll go for a quick break now, and coming up we follow competition leader Heath Reed as he looks to make it 3 out of 3 at the Coca-Cola Morobe Open. Now alongside him you're gonna notice one or two familiar figures. That's Jake Sterling and Martin Dive. See you after the break. Welcome back to this final segment of the highlights of the 2014 Coca-Cola Morobe Open. Now, apart from the international golfers that have arrived in the country to take part in this week's tournament, we've also had our very own local talent having a run with the big boys. And it's not just been the fellas having a run on the green. The small contingent of ladies proving themselves. Rose Taff of the Royal Pomorsby Golf Club was one of those taking part and was happy with her performance. And Shavina Maras, PNG's female champion and one of the youngest competitors at the event.
My name is Shavina Maras. I come from a mixed parentage of Saving and Indonesia. I'm 20. I am a Unitec student, second year.
Is this your first Morobe Open?
No. I first played Morobe Open in 2007 and I won the Morobe Open in 2009 and I've been playing since.
Considering last year and the field of women this year, have you noticed any difference?
Yeah, there's more ladies playing the Morobe Open and it kind of makes the game more interesting.
In what way?
In the way that it's a male-dominated sport and there's more guys out there, and yeah, it makes the game more interesting when there's women out there and people come to watch.
Now, how have you been going the past 4 days of the tournament so far?
We've been playing okay, playing to my handicap. I had a few battles, but yeah.
In general, you think you've been doing well?
Yeah.
Now, the PNG Open's coming up next week. Will you be a part of that?
Yes, I will be. That will be the first time. For myself, back when I was a junior, I was practically the only junior girl. And it's good to see that there's other little junior girls now playing golf. It would be really nice to see them keep going and make their way up. And,
Now, for those that don't understand the sport of golf, how hard is it to actually play?
I'd say it's 80% mind game and 20% physical. It's about concentration and accuracy and everything else. when it's too hot, the greens become too fast, and when it rains, it becomes really slow. So it's a bit hard to read it. Even for me, sometimes I have difficulty.
When making the final presentations, Justin Maker acknowledged the participation of the amateur golfers throughout the tournament.
I hope you have enjoyed your experience over the past 4 days playing with some of the best professionals from Australia, and you take that experience with you, and hopefully one day that you will be on the professional scene as well. I look forward to hopefully seeing many of you playing this as a professional in future years.
But the Reed competition had been a two-way tussle, with Brett Reed and Jake Sterling giving it everything they had. Reed's final round 70 to finish on 10 under was good enough for a one-shot win, with Sterling, who briefly shared the lead after 10 holes, holding on to outright second. First round leader Brad Rankin finished in third, while Michael Hansen and Martin Dive tied for fourth. With Reed holding a one-shot lead playing the final hole, both Reed and Sterling had par putts. Reed 3 feet, Sterling 2 feet when play had to be suspended due to heavy rain causing the hole being covered in water. It was an anxious 60 minutes for both players before they were able to return to the green, where Reed made no mistake by draining the 3-foot putt to claim victory and a $20,000 reward, roughly just over 50,000 kina.
Welcome back to the show. If you've just joined us, this is a special edition of Coca-Cola Sports Scene as we highlighted the 2014 Coca-Cola Morobe Golf Open held in Lae, Morobe Province over the weekend.
It was a fiery match between reigning champions Hekari and Admiralty Manus FC. Admiralty fought incredibly hard in an attempt to contribute to the scoreboard. However, clumsy errors, which caused one too many turnovers, gave the opposition numerous chances to score goals. Despite the result, Admiralty looked sharp in their attack as there were a number of occasions where the midfielders carried the ball forward, only to lose control of it with forceful strikes. Hekari was very tactical in their decision-making, with Tuimasi Manuka's performance, Peter Bolatonga and Captain David Muta displaying exceptional footwork, which generated to the final score of 5-0. Being their first year in the NSL competition, Admiralty FC have shown instances of form and brilliance. Head coach Andrew Kinnuin is impressed on a larger scale based on his team's performance throughout this season.
Overall, impressive. I wouldn't be talking about individually. Our team as in all, the professionalism was there. Regardless of the result, from the beginning since Monday till now, and judging how we finished off here. Yeah.
What are some things that you think that the team can work on?
More or less, to detail it, I cannot be telling it out here. We have to just get back on Monday, start work again, and see where we are during the whole match, and then start from there again on Monday.
Well, that's it for now, viewers. If you have any sports-related stories or would like us to cover your sports or feature stories, please send us an email to sportscene@mtv.com.pg and like our page, which shows all our updates. Well, that's it for tonight. Please grab yourself a nice ice-cold Coca-Cola can or bottle. Until next week, I'm Godwin Eki. Good night.